to turn on the system to begin to listen to people making connections in this Wi-Fi. So for me to set my targets, I will set my targets by, now if I use this IP address here, it's basically saying I want to attack every single person, and I want to scope every single person that is connected to me. I want to know what they're doing. I want to see what sites they are visiting. If they are visiting sites that are not secure, like I say, you can even do as much as grab a username and password when they visit those sites. So for me to set targets, I will set ARP, scope, and targets. So if I have more like 3 different IP addresses, remember, let me show. I can decide to pick in any one of these people that here. And who knows, I can also detect who each of these persons or identities are. My address is supposed to help me do that, but sometimes when you don't see their identities or you can't tell whether it's a phone or a PC, I can easily do something like copying these MAC addresses and going to the site called OUI.org. And this is by Wireshark. You can open any one of those two. So MAC addresses are actually used to identify manufacturers of products. So okay, this is showing you the results. Copy another user's MAC address. The number of the times you will actually see results. All right. So we get to matches. But that's fine. But now what I want to know is your attacker sometimes doesn't really care who they are really attacking, as much as they gather information from you. So for us to let us try to make it a little bit spicy by saying now listening to everything that's going on. I can just simply do set ARP.scope targets and pasting my IP address. I will sort it, which means every IP address that comes in and comes out. So setting this, I'll turn my ARP.scope and I'll set it to be on. And finally, I'll use the net.snif. Sorry, net.snif and on here. So you can see that the result has changed over time. I'm not seeing different stuff going on in the background, but to normal people, they may not be able to make sense of this. But to we advocates, sometimes we can make sense of everything that's going on here. Both those who are visiting sites and more, we can grab any of the requests. Now let me show you an example. Take for example, I tried visiting a site. And I just searched these sites. Now, it grabs the information that this happens. It grabs the information that I've actually visited the sites. I think I would love to stop some of the bubbles, which is actually too much. Getting too many requests. So now I can also be specific. Let me just search for HTTP. Now, this is indicating that I'll be able to grab some HTTP responses from certain people, but I'm not able to show you what those responses were. So if we move on, and this is a site that's probably not like secure without SSL, and somebody's trying to browse, or I don't know if this site has a login, I will check it out. If the site has a login, that's the login though. But I would love to use the site that has a login so we get to see what kind of response that goes on. So we're seeing HTTP responses here, but you've not seen in a minute. So these are a whole of risk requests. All right, so what I see here is, you can see that it's indicating that somebody was trying to make an access or trying to access Google. This is Google DNS. It's indicating this IP. It's native that was trying to access Google and more. But here you can see, you can also see here that it's grabbed the information that social user here was trying to access this particular site here. You can see that site. Let me even search the name of the site so you see it appears on my list. But so we can see where it's indicating that it was a little grab request to tell me when I was let me do that again. So let me try to visit a different site. I want to do the test site. And this side I'll be trying to log in. Use that. So if there's any site that it's not having a secure, doesn't have secure SSL, we all know what SSL are. It protects against spoofing or sniffing. Let me check. All right, so let's so all right, so here I could tell when a user I'll be putting my username and password here as I want to log into a central website, and let's see whether we can integrate this information with what we're doing. So me clicking on the login, and I want to be using the same admin, and I want to use the passwords. And let me click on the login. This logs me in to innocently whoever is sorting the site. But my request is able to grab whatever information was fed in. And I can check that out by, let me search for the word HTTP because it's a HTTP request. Let me use what I mean. So can we see this is beginning to grab us what we call HTML parameters. It was able to see and indicates that I actually had access to this site, and I actually put the username fields to the admin, and this is the location of the link of the site I was able to access. Now, I'm the one in this network, I'm trying it all. Bear in mind that whoever is connected to the same, that's connected to the same internet as myself, and they're sorting this same site, I can go to grab information from them. Let's see whether we're able to get the password as well. Let me check that again. I think I saw that. And I think it's not so much requests. All right, so let me do this again. And you can see that appeared on the screen, but that was very quick enough because it's grabbing so much requests at the same time. I'm targeting everybody in this image. That's why when it gets requests, it's quickly to pick them out. I was to search for it. Right, so let's see that here is gently. This was the site I visited. This was the username I put in the field, and you can see here was also the graph password. This was also the graph password. Now, you don't know what I fixed as a password, but you can see that my tool was able to sniff it and tell me the actual password. And if you visit sites that are not secure, these are likely to be pinged every percent most of the time. So this is an example of a man-in-the-middle attack. And every time you visit that secure, or you connect to that wireless network, whether it's a free one or that hotel that you went to lodge, it's very sensitive that we put these things in mind. Usually I actually come with my Wi-Fi a lot of the time, and I think it's best everybody do that. Why is I've actually seen scenarios whereby I've had people like really core hackers or grey hats, they feel some have actually gave me that link like, hey, if we go to huge hotels, do you know we could actually just lodge in these hotels? And why do you think those internet fraudsters will lodge into some hotels, big hotels, because they assume that some prominent people will be there and looks like they might use the hotel internet. And what they do is they lodge in this hotel, collect the Wi-Fi pass, and then sniff to hear whatever access or sites they're visiting and see what they can intercept. Now, this was a very, very basic stuff that I will have shown you for the awareness, but it goes way more than this. There are more technical things that could be achieved from carrying out simple attacks like this. So we'll be looking more into, I'll be briefly looking more into one or two more other things before for this next presenter to actually display one or two or continue to in our presentation. So one other thing I want to show us, we have also that mentality that the passwords are we should only use strong secure passwords. I have some of the sites that we actually use to test to know how secure your password is. And one of them is Password Monster. If you write about Password Monster and you search it online, you should most likely see this site. Now, what is this is, we have that idea that if you use, it's also a cliche statement, I'm trying to extract them, use a special case, a number, lowercase, uppercase, and more. And I'll try to show you that I'll be attempting using all of those rules. And let's try that out. So if I write words, I'm going to put this in full screen. You can see what I'm doing there. So I write the word cyber and I write the word, I put an underscore, and I write the word security. And I already mixed lowercase and uppercase and an underscore. You can see here is indicating what has been done. Now, take for example, I decided to add something else. Now, this supposedly is supposed to be like a strong password to some people. And there's some people who feel the length of the password is also very necessary, like use length to leverage. But how about I try this one? And I'm even be decent enough to use uppercase and lowercase. Some people could leverage on length, but I'll still tell you that length doesn't really matter in most cases. This is showing 12 trillion as well. Let's clear this one. I own a multi-million and you see 3 hours practicing password. And if you check out the character length is 17. Character length is 17. If I decide to add something else, special character, you can see all those rules will tell you use a special character, lowercase, uppercase has been attempted. And the number of those platforms are still telling minimum of 15 characters. We have even 20 characters, but this is saying we can crack this in less than 9 days. Well, can detect that is using, check out the message here. So using that password by blocking your front door of hidden key online months, and your password is of medium strength because it contains 5 dictionary words. So it can detect that you're using a dictionary word. And I come with a different mechanism to somebody who actually asked the question, how do you actually create a very more secure, stronger passwords? And I really like what the speaker who did or handled the social dictionary did mention. The very good industry standard is make as much random passwords as you can. But people always have issues with how can I cram these passwords? And you're saying we should be not usable. And I'm saying, okay, if you don't want to use that, you could actually create your crappy passwords, and I'll show you how to encrypt them. Let's start with the very crappy passwords. And I'm using a name and this. Very basic. A good number of people will do something like this. This is meeting up to the 14 character. In fact, let me add it to, let me add another number at the end. So this is a crappy password. Crappy password to us. And why is it even crappy? Let me move, before I move on here to show us why happened, I want to show you why I started this, my brand, that these rules sometimes doesn't really guarantee security. That has been also mentioned in the previous presentation. There is no guarantee of security, but the best thing to do is try as much as you can to implement all the necessary security procedures you need. So there's actually a list that is contained in this open security called a rocky.txt file. It contains 14 million passwords, yeah? And some people are like, how? And funny enough, this list is just 130 something MB. It's 130 something MB, but contains 14 million passwords. I actually don't have a word list of over 6 gig. So if 133 MB word list is just 14 million passwords, how much do you think a 6 gigabyte list that contains random passwords would be? Big number of hackers actually would stick to the person when they have the machine. And let me show you an example of where this list is found. Sorry. But so this is not yet decrypted. I will just decrypt it by writing this command. So now, let's show you what this list is. This is the location of the list, and I want to just show you the contents of what this list carries. You can see this is a list that is containing different people's passwords, and some of them are strong, yes, but I'll tell you the reason why I don't really underrate brute forcing. I've actually seen some of my using passwords in this particular word list, and that was when I started getting into cybersecurity. And I was like, hold on, I found 2 of my passwords here. If somebody has brute forced my account years back, they would have gotten access to my account. I changed my password because this is there's this rule that whatever you're thinking, a bunch of other people are thinking of it at the same time. Your name is Rose, your name is Mary, your Mark, your Michael, and if you use your name or your pet's name or the name of something that is conceivable as your password, somebody else out there around the world probably having similar names to you doing the same thing. And what happens if that person's password gets breached? There's tendency that your password that you feel you crafted out yourself is out there. My passwords, I crafted them out myself, and I found them here. So that tells you that sometimes you can't really just think as much as far as you really can think. So because we're all humans. Now let's take a good example. I don't know if anyone of us is that you might want to check out your name. Do we have any name you want to give as example? Then just check it out here to show you why you don't use your name. Anyone? Grace. So good. Just mention any name. All right. Am I hearing anybody saying something?
Yusra.
Said Yusra.
Yusra. Can I have this spelling?
Yeah.
Sorry?
SRA. Why you?
Yes. Now you can see this is Harley, and you can see that funny enough, my name is actually found on this text. Now somebody else must be using somebody. Let's even start. Let me not make it all and do this. So we have the word Yusra, this, Yusra 1, 2, 3, and more, Yusra Sharifa, Sharif 1, 2, 3, 4, and more. So if I keep on checking, you see that there are different combinations. Yeah? Does somebody else want to try his own name? All right.
Rekiba.
Sorry?
Rekiba.
Can you spell it for me?
R-A.
Okay.
K.
Double
E.
E, right?
B-A.
All right. All right, so this shows that Rekiba is even there. Now let me remove the more. You can see the red indicates it's there, right? But the funny thing or the interesting thing is we do not have a good combination. Now let me leave it at this Reki, because sometimes I don't feel like my name is Reki. Use Reki and mix it up with something. You can see the number of people actually still have this. Now, bear in mind, how do you get access to this from the text? This was released years ago from breached passwords around the world. And Top has been able to show us they have had a cool site where you can actually go check if your mails has been in previous breach. Yes, those are really amazing things. But I'm going to tell you that as of 2019, all right, I think 2019, these guys also came up and released a 2020 version of Rocket, which is about 4 something big. This one contains 8 billion word lists. And it was a combination of all the recent top breaches, which includes Facebook breaches, password they got from Facebook, password they got from Twitter breaches, and other places in that way. And they combine this whole thing together to form a word list. Now, a good number of people reshuffle passwords, yeah? Now, this is the reason why we're trying to say, don't reshuffle the password. I actually met somebody who uses one password. One breach can cost you a lot of your other accounts. And it's simple. Download this word list. This is even open source, which means, like for this one, it came to the OS itself. There was no special installation. The one that contains 8 billion passwords is out there. Check it out by just writing the word ROCU.txt 2022. All right, this is the 2022. I think that's 2022, not even 2 years back. There's a massive word. Check the description. I think somebody, you see it actually contains 8 billion files. And it's out there. It's out there. You can download it. Use torrent. And it's size 9 gig. And the Harley is one that is really compressed to like 4.46 gig and more. So you can have that downloaded to tracks. So if this is out there to general public, do you think those guys would have access to this and try to enforce different passwords? I will mention, previous speaker mentioned having to see a PC which actually has a RAM of 2 terabytes. I actually saw in the news that a supercomputer in the US actually cracked a password, or sorry, not a password, actually a blockchain encryption that was presumed to be cracked in, is it 1 trillion years? It cracked it in about 3 hours because of the kind of system, because of the kind of supercomputer. So you think if people want to really attack you, they would not, if they have the necessary to go for an extent. They will. Well, here's another thing. Let's talk about how we can talk about do the secure aspects of this. And moving back to this. So remember I said, if you want to create your secure password, let's start with something people can easily remember. Put your crappy password, but stick to the rules, which is Roslyn. You can easily remember Roslyn because of the decency and one puts the special character, puts arts and number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6. This is a very simple password. In fact, I want believe that there's possibility that might be here, right? I just have to put rules in and okay, this is not here. Well, very, very basic. Presume it's not here. Was it misspelling? Is it rules line? I think it's line that goes E. Is it W E? Lina was the one defined. Now, you have a cracking password as this. You could do a simple thing like copy this whole cracking password and use one encryption method I do use. Let me zoom in a bit. And what is this? That is that's ROCU. Sorry, not ROCU, ROS 13. You go to the site called ROT13 as a number.com. Now, you know, RCC players who do hacking competition, who sing this thing a lot, who use it a lot. But the ones that actually invest this to, I could use this to create 24 different passwords for myself, and all of them is secure with just one. So the thing is, let's check it out. So what I need to do is start cracking password here. I'll paste it here. And this is box one. I want to go to box one. What this thing basically do is a simple math, which is anywhere it sees R, what's the next alphabet after R? X, right? It just goes step one because right was one. So it just picks the next alphabet, replace each alphabet by the next alphabet. So we have alphabet to this with S, we have O, the next alphabet to O is S, and we have something like this. Now, this, let's check this out and see how secure this particular one is. Now, the ultimate rule, or to me personally, I think the ultimate rule creating that secure password is using a password that's it's not, or that cannot make sense. Don't put it that way. It's just not a word. It cannot be pronounced and more. It's more like gibberish. That's why your password, the tools you use to give you automatic password, just run different characters together. For this one, you know the kind of characters you are mixing together. So I have this. I want to check it out with this password strength meter, and you can see how long it's going to take you to crack this password. About 210 years. Now, if we are not use mostly bunch of random numbers, let's say you use a lengthier words, you most likely get more longer time in cracking the password. To me, it's more secure. Why? We just did a raw queue for one. We did a raw 13 for rows 1. Why did we go to rows 2? Anyway, since our root step 2. So R moves to S and U replaces with T. So it moves that way. And you can notice that all the numbers and special characters remains the same. So literally changes the alphabets, and it's somewhat like the cycle versus the cycle. But to me, this is a way more decent way people should use to create that secure password. Now I have another one here, and we have this from 1 down to 25, whereby, take for example, this was an A, down to the point whereby it changes A to B, B to C, down to where A becomes Z. So you have 24 passwords after just one try, right? So let's check this out and see whether this is also a stronger one. You can see the complexity or how complex the password gets is what determines somehow. Sometimes how long or how strong the password is, or how strong the password is. So this is basically what I have to say to you regarding your password security and more. So like I said, you have multiple options. Now, another key question people usually ask me is, what if decides one day you wake up and it's not that there, or do you not think these people are storing my real password when I'm listening there? And I'll tell you something. Over 2 billion people use the service every day. Yeah. And talking about hackers trying to crack or PCTS online and more. Like for me, if you were the company, would you you don't have enough space or capacity to purchase a server that will store every input on that. That will be considerably very robust. So I'll tell you, and even me myself, it's just a tool I can create. I should create a version of mine. If you can code it, you can simply make this simply scriptable. So this is just more like your online calculator you use out there. You see when you punch your online calculator, it stores whatever you punch. No. So I don't think this does that. That is one. Another question is, that pops up most of the time is, what if this shuts down when it stops working? The simple thing is, you understand how the map works. You could simply just create or write down your password in the paper, because remember I said it's a crappy password you can remember. So that your crappy passwords, you have to four outcomes. Obviously, you could use one for your Gmail, use two for your Yahoo Mail, use 3 for different services. And if you forget any one of them, it's simply an invested site is not going to work, which I doubt. All you could simply do is get your sheet of paper, write a password, and create the word yourself manually because you don't have it. And try it then. Definitely the site needs a restriction to say, I'm going to block you out if you try to before. That is not a good force. But you're not going to use that to brute forcing to just try to match your own case. That's the fine. So that's the fine. And you could do all of that. And we're done here. Then one more final tip for your email security. Because of time, I'm not going into depth into it. Another key thing I don't do or advise people not to do, 90% of the time, you only use the service of the internet if you ask to provide a video. And this is the reason why sites like Alabama thrive. This is the reason why they thrive. Why? A lot of people use a personal email. I want to set a graphic design, I want to get one particular icon, and I will be platform before you download the site and sign up with us. And just put in their movement. And I'm like, please don't, because you just want to use that service for just that moment. So why give them the real stuff? It's for all the personal stuff. One of my faculty will always say, have multiple mails, like have up to 17 mails. I support that. But we just say, I'm not going to do 17 mails. So I'm teaching us a very simple method. Use your mails, use automatic 10 minutes mails, you have self-destructive mails that you don't need to sign up with them. All you need to do is what? I'll take a very good example. One of them is blogmail.com. I have over like 20 of those kind of mails. You could use them. And you just search for 10 mails. But this is your mail. All you need to do is put like username and if I put something like this is a mail to me. By the time I met, I'm actually having a note to myself as this. I can use it for registering any of the random platform and whatever thing I want to send you to authenticate, OTP, to appear here. And if you don't use it, because this is actually a passive one, because it's very, very used a lot, you could decide to use one of my favorite, which is NU.org. And this one gives you multiple domains. Yeah. So how I'm just saying is trying to use your personal knowledge to sign up for random multiple platform. Only use your real knowledge when you get to do things like real identity stuff, maybe like your government, you want to sign up for your government stuff or more. But any of this random stuff is a no-no. Why? You can't trust the systems. Facebook has been hacked not once, not twice. And I've actually even seen the database of the hacked Facebook. That means you can't trust any of these platforms you use online. Yeah. Absolutely all these random platforms, you really can't trust them. Go to the websites you're sending up for. One day they might be hacked and all their data will be online. So your mail will be there too. So why don't you just, services you're not using frequently, use temporary rules, use self-destructive rules for that. And that's all actually my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Precious, for that wonderful presentation. So up next is Mr. Victor Idona. Hope I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I believe the presentation was very insightful, and I know that the next one is going to be more fun because there will be questions that will be thrown out and gifts are going to be won. Before I leave here, you can follow us on our social media at CYSEC NG if you want to check it out. It's fun, it's engaging, and people win prizes, giveaways, and all that. So next is Mr. Victoria Donald. Thank you.
How has it been for us? Okay. All right. So take a look at all they're talking about cybersecurity, awareness, that was the session of how the credentials can be snaked using a man individual attack. So at this point, we'll be looking at a front view of what we just looked at. I think the practical session of what we just had.
All right, so we'll be looking at the front end of all with just that. I'm Victor by name, and to start with, currently the world has a population of about 7.9 billion, right? The global population of today, and the number of internet users is massively growing. We all can agree with me that today the average number of mobile devices each user has is about 2 phones per user, and the number of smart devices is increasing on a daily basis, right? Meaning, we now have even more smart, efficient devices that have the processing power of a PC. Some years back, the average number of in terms of RAM speed for a PC is just 1 gig. And today, we are talking about supercomputers up to 2 TB of RAM capacity. Today, average like 4 gig RAM for mobile devices, including smartphone up to 16 gig RAM on your 2 devices. So that takes us to the next fact, which is the number of internet users in Africa is about 500 million. That is, this equates just 10% of the population, leaving huge potential for growth. The digital economy is developing, and this is happening at the speed of light. Today, even right from the village, you can actually have access to events like this, programs like this, which I'm very sure we have about 30 online participants joining us from Google Meet. We also have participants from Zoom. We also have participants from YouTube. All of this related together. Digital economy is moving. So moving on to the next fact. Hundreds of millions of cyber attacks take place every year in Africa. The more the devices, the more the room for cyber attacks and threats, right? The more your exposure to the internet, the more the likelihood of you getting hacked. True or false? Very true. So the banks' offices are being targeted by hackers, increasing the frequency of attacks, which means African nations are also paying a big price, including you and I. So according to the United Nations, cybercrime covers any illegal behavior directed by means of electronic operation that targets the security of computer systems and the data processed by them. That takes us to cybercrime affect all countries, but weak networks and security make countries in Africa particularly vulnerable. This covers even the organization, even the school environment, government offices, name it, state level, federal level, everyone are vulnerable. That gives us a global view of what we are looking at, which states that more than 90% of businesses, including the public, the private, and all, they are all operating without the necessary cybersecurity protocols in place. This is October and the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which means over 500 billion USD is a cost for cybercrime globally, and 20%, that is 1 in every 5 businesses, are often hit by cyber attacks. So that takes us to the next phase. What can we do in this age of digital transformation? Despite the high demand for digitalization, we also need to remain focused in combating cybercrime, and that is why we have this cybersecurity awareness today. So the top 5 threats, cyber threats, are online scams, which we heard a lot about today. And we're going to be looking at it from a different perspective this time around. We'll talk about digital extortion. We look at business email compromise. This is one of the top 5. We also look at ransomware. Then finally, botnets. If all of this is happening, it means for the online scam, there's the phishing aspect of it. And when scammers fool you to think they are someone you trust in order to make you do something, then that is a phishing scam. In the first session of the presentation, Mr. Arnell, he stated that phishing occurs when you're able to build trust with the target. The moment you're able to build trust in it, he can reveal his confidential info, even his family, no matter what, the kind of info you're requesting for, will be able to put it for you. And this can happen either physical, online, and all of that. And part of the 7 types of, or the major types of phishing scams we should talk about or we should know are the email scam. Email scam, spear phishing scam. I'm very sure we've all received email scam in one way or the other before. Email scams come via email telling you to fill in, click a link to go somewhere and fill in your confidential data. It may be purported to come from your bank, your social media account. It depends. It all depends on basically what it's targeted. These are email phishing scam, and the moment you key in your credentials, you'll become a victim of email phishing scam. Then we also have the spear phishing scams. These are scams that the attacker has carried out. We looked at open source intelligence that we're using earlier, right? And we also talked about gathering information about victims. So if an attacker has gathered a lot of information about you, he can dedicate attacks towards you based on the information he has gathered about you, and that is what they call spear phishing scams. They are scams that relate to you and persons within your cycle. Then we also talk of smishing scams, which refers to scams that come via SMS. I'm very sure a good number of us have received that in time past, where someone sends you an SMS, win or call Mr. A, B, depending on the number to claim a certain amount. Then also, if we address with also know that we have Google search spam. Have you heard of that before? Google search spam. These days, even the scammers, they also do paid ads. Scammers also do paid ads. So it's not every link on Google that is actually valid, because an attacker will create a phishing page, a phishing site, make it look all super nice, and he will go and do paid ad on it. So when you're searching, have you ever clicked a link instead of taking you to something that is taking you somewhere else? Meanwhile, it's from Google. So that is a Google search scam. Then there are also social media scams. I'm very sure we've also come across them severally across our social media platforms. WhatsApp especially these days. Either you are praying for someone to get money in 7 days, or you're joining a group to double your money in less than 30 minutes, whichever amount you want to invest. I'm very sure we're conversant with all of this. And gradually, the awareness is going around, right? At least the moment anything related to government stuff, the next thing you see is government is giving away 50,000 naira either rehabilitation or grant. Next thing you see people trooping in to fill in their credential personal info. I was at a training like this, and someone asked that why do hackers or attackers spend their quality time to create these links and just post online. Meanwhile, sometimes the information they are gathering is just name, email, phone number, and sometimes there's really no account number. So why are they wasting time gathering all of this info? Can anybody help us with that?
Okay.
Yes. Why do hackers spend time to create the site? You know, initially, before you answer this, initially, when we were doing awareness, you always be told, don't put in your password on a site that is not secure, right? And what was the indication for a secure site? A padlock site, right? But today, even the phishing site have padlock sites, right? So please.
Okay, you said why do they do that much?
Yes.
And I think until we come to understand that information doesn't have to be sensitive. Or okay, information doesn't have to be sensitive for it to be useful. Just knowing your shoe size alone. I cannot ask you what your shoe size now. Your mind will go to your like the way you protect your PIN or your password. But me knowing your shoe size alone will help me at a point when I'm about entering a particular room and I saw shoes. I can say, okay, it will have to just it will help me to draw conclusion, you know, at a point. So information doesn't have to be sensitive for it to be useful. And I think that's why they do that. They gather raw information and see this.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Information does not have to be sensitive or personal before it can be useful to an attacker. Even a character, the character you display, your likes, your feature, your favorites online, someone can put all of this content together and they can use them to launch attack against you. Yes, please.
Like you said, when information is useless, I think the main thing is the phishing scam. Because as long as I gather more information about your likes and dislikes, what your interests like, I can customize the scam specifically for you. So you tend to trust it more than you realize one.
Awesome. So, like we mentioned earlier, spear phishing scam, these are scams started at you. The moment attacker is malware, is which you will use the launching attack, and when you see recently Google about me, when we talk about the previous kind of with malicious attachment, right? Assuming you are a lover of pets, the moment someone sends you a mail with relation containing details of a pet, that will naturally prompt you to open the email. But if it's something you don't like, you won't even bother clicking it, right? So that is one of the reasons why social media scams are also part of the top 7 phishing scams we should know about. Then we talk about QR code scams. Do you know what QR codes are? They are always available in public spots, right? You will go to a restaurant and this code to make it. Now, they are QR code on the existing bar. So, unsuspecting users, customers, and this menu that comes in, the moment they tell us to scan that barcode, it means directly and redirecting them to them. So that's why QR code is on. So, what about protection from phishing scam? If it is urgent, we look at this area. It depends on the nature at which the message is coming. Some message require you to send it now and urgently. Sometimes it there was something that happened recently, and he just decided to ask a few questions and it was. But guess this transfer, it was simply a victim of what? Of anonymous scam. And in this case, depending on the nature of the scam, it shouldn't be too urgent. It is too urgent. Call to verify. This case, if you're calling to verify, you need to have to do the extra step. Actually hear the person's voice before proceeding. Then next is check the address or enable multi-factor. We talked about all of this. Look at the style of the message and ask questions. Are we together? So then, before our last speaker, we talked about passwords and how lengthy, how long it would take us to crack some, it would take a PC or system to crack such password. We have a 7 character, we have up to 12 character, it can go as way as high as up to 2,000 years. I think the last one we did, we had about 21, was it 21 years or 21,000 years? 210 years, 210 years to crack a password by using 3, configuration using encryption. So, moving forward, we treat cybersecurity awareness, the global community awareness, the corporate environment, policies at different levels. But still, the impact of cybersecurity training is still relevant. Being that over 40% started using multi-factor authentication as a result of programs and awareness like this. Over 40% of persons started using multi-factor authentication. Then over 58% got better in recognizing phishing emails or phishing scams via awareness like this. But the challenge here we have is, don't mind this huge figure we have here, right? There is still a certain number of persons that still fall prey to attacks, even with the constant awareness. Who takes us to the next reality? Who says that they're stolen from that side and apps? You mentioned it, I just think I mentioned that. Sometimes it may be so secure, you must have used a very strong password using multi-factor authentication here and there, right? How about when your account owner, like Facebook, as a body or as a company, gets hacked? All of your credentials are linked. There was a time, sometimes this year, the commercial bank in Nigeria, someone posted the full list of their users and their account numbers, right? Online publicly. These users must have some of them must have actually properly secured their account, but somebody can found this way to the public. Why? Because no matter how secure you think you may be, there must be a weak chain somewhere, which may be the human. It may not arise from you, but it might also arise from your vendor, which is the person housing your data. So even if you have a strong password, it may still not be secure. Because over 604 websites, and we have over 11 billion, 603 million, 420,729 phone accounts. These are accounts that have actually been hacked from exploitation, from dump sites, dump database. If you have to dump either the public or that web, the case may be. So moving forward, that also now tells us that we have to also enable multi-factor authentication from our end to ensure that, okay, to some extent, we ensure we are safe and secure. And what type of multi-factor authentication? We talked about it before. What you have, what you know, and what you have. Right? What you have, maybe your conventional speed follow as the case may be. What you have can be your token, hardware token, what you know, your password, your PIN, as the case may be. So we now move on to ransomware. Aside attacks that alternative individuals, also attacks that alternative your devices, your infrastructure. It can be organizational level, it can be at individual level, it can be at even at the enterprise level. And these are attacks that request or demand for ransom for them to release your data after it has been hacked. So how do you avoid ransomware attacks? Don't download files from random websites. Like I always say, a lot of us prefer free applications. Is it free? Yes. Can I get that version? Yes. Free. The moment you download free version, we don't use free, right? It's not paid. Some will say, but it's working. Yes, it's working. Somehow it's from there you get into into real attacks. So beware of phishing emails with attachment. They don't use your company email or password for personal things. A lot of us use our corporate email, our company email to register for social media sites. Like our last also said, if you're opening an account somewhere that requires an email, if you think that that particular account is not something you need for, you could just use the one-time password and the one-time email to create that account, verify it, and you're done, right? You don't have to use your personal or your corporate email. Then don't store passwords in text file or spreadsheet. A lot of us do this. We either store or we write down. There are some of us, even though your text file, we have sticky notes containing your password, right? So please desist from that. How do you use USB safety? A lot of us, the moment you hear it, right? The next thing you are looking for movies, right? A lot of us, funny enough, sometimes you are not looking for movies. You just want to see the side of the flash drive. What is that of this flash drive? I mean, just explore. Is it 16 what movie can I go and use it to copy? Then when you see a folder with movie, the first thing you want to open the folder to copy. Sometimes it's not real because you can actually masquerade an exe file to carry the icon of a folder with a movie and do the not someone can hide the file extension. You see the folder thinking the movie this side, the moment you double click, you actually activated the malware. So next is what is wire fraud. Excuse me. It is when you are clicking wiring only to a fraudulent bank account. Maybe not of the some of us falling prey to such attacks. When you mistakenly unknowingly because you trusted the person wire money or send money to someone, either because they request of object and discover it was wire fraud. Then there's this thing, there's one thing that right? So, an urgent request to wire money is wire fraud. How do you avoid wire fraud? Call and verify. We'll talk about it before. Call a new number. We'll also talk about it then. Verify that the bank info match the one on the file. Okay? So, next is the need to recruit talent. If you've gone through a cybersecurity awareness program like this, in the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, cybersecurity is our shared responsibility. It is everyone's responsibility from top to whatever category. Every one of us is expected to be involved. So when you attend a program like this, also extend the word, share the word. Call up a group of persons, it can be in your house, call your family members, share the word with them, recruit people, engage and spread the word further. So permit me to start the last phase with technology continues to evolve and it also brings greater threats like the very nature of opportunity it presents. We all agree that technology has been like easier for us, right? We're having a meeting here, we're having lots of persons from different locations connected to this and they actually enjoy the same content as we're enjoying now. So while the benefits and opportunities is enormous and is enough, there are also threats to this. So that we should be mindful of what we post online. Whether it's personal info about someone or anything, be mindful of what you post. And we talked about deepfake. In the little legit, for always ensure you verify and you confirm what you're posting. In the level of you, but somehow you may hurt the next person, you may hurt your neighbor or whoever it is about. Okay? Be mindful of what you post online. Keep your software up to date. A lot of us don't like updating our software. Why? It's consuming our bandwidth. We don't want to spend data. We rather leave it. If it's requested for upload, you say next tomorrow, in the next 24 hours, next week, in 30 days time. You keep postponing and postponing and postponing until you run into issues. So keep unsecure links. When you have any link sent to you through an unknown source or unverified user, either on WhatsApp or email, wherever it is, ensure you verify the source, okay? Verify the source. The next is use trusted devices. A lot of us, you can log into any of your account of anybody's PC, true of course. Even on mobile phone, I want to quickly check something on my email. Personally, I don't log into any of my accounts on any device that is not mine. So always ensure you use trusted devices. If you know someone you trust, don't log into that person's, don't log into any of your accounts on that person's device. Because sometimes you can log into Facebook or someone's device, you forget to log out. The person go out with that device, and he or she has access to your account, and he can in fact review, read all messages, and even change your password. So ensure you do not carry out or log into any of your accounts on public or untrusted devices. Use a spam filter. Use a spam filter. And with that, that brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
I believe you enjoyed this session that we just finished. Did we? Okay, so now I know a lot of you have questions, so I'm going to invite two facilitators to come off stage and ask your questions from the first session to this session. Thank you.
No question.
So stop cracking software. Stop cracking software.
Good evening. My name is Baze. And my question is, what is the passwords that you have to put? Using your specific logic, how sure are we that in the next 10 years' time that these passwords will be part of analysis? Just to answer that question. So, right, so first of all, the areas of the fact that there's no ultimate security solution. So the first thing you want to do is know that the reason why we are creating the past, like I say, it will be breached as well. You see that they need to be new websites, new web applications, general and public ones are instantly pushed. The credentials are there now. For good researchers like myself, if you see the dark web, I'll tell you personally that there's a site in the dark web. All you need to do is you have the name of the person, put in the name, always gets the username password or whatever registers. It's there, it's actually existing in dark web, actually talking to about a month back, and just really about the pages. Not only that, people in company names, you can put in company names, you don't fix that. So these are going to be the code that can pull directly to that and show passwords of random people and their mails. So now what I'm trying to say is it's still very necessary that even after this, we still should change the passwords because it could be existing in one which goes to mine has been involved in very good. old email I was using, sent it to the page. I personally saw when they were hacked, and I had to change every information. So the necessary change the passwords. Maybe after our solution is simpler to make them simple the passwords to make them stronger. It's very good.
Thank you.
If you have said that it's the careful of the website, assuming that the class is related to a particular website, right, and this attack is open, you see that it cannot be prevented. What are the methods you can use to public website to prevent this one individual attack?
Okay. This is asking you how to protect yourself when eventually you are connected to public Wi-Fi.
All right. Now, because of time, if you're connected, you are connected through a VPN. That conceals to some extent your data being transmitted. So even if there's a man individual attack, the person has access to the traffic flowing, but does not have access to the content because it's going through a virtual private network. Thank you.
So that is really directs and satellites. What is the issue? Basically, it's traffic passing in the network. We don't have the idea of this. We just have to do it. Privacy tools are there. So I say, don't keep it. It takes a lot of people to penetrate. So one other thing I like to notice, there are actually routers that have the MIT protection. If you use CYSEC, you check out some protection. You should something about speaking routers and MIT protection. Not speak directly. But there are actually kind of routers that can protect against MIT. It's not that it's happening to affect everyone, but guess what? Such a problem that kind of expensive. Not everyone actually sponsors the business, especially or you actually need to do this because the first step of protection is yourself first. Before you start the company and
This condition very important, not free VPNs.
Or cracked one.
Paid VPNs.
Or cracked one.
Okay, you have a contribution also.
yes, I think to actually say don't do only public things. Don't do bank transaction, don't do all these things. Things that you can do as everybody can do, but don't do public things on public Wi-Fi. And then concerning password, I have done some research people around password, and I hope that you can get a quality behind your password. Then whatever you do, I can always decipher whatever you do. So if I know the algorithm behind your password, I don't need your plan. So whatever any one you want to do, I can always so look for something that you will want to do. You understand? If I know that it's your age, and you act, you don't need to look at those things. If I know you are interpreting black or white, and I just understanding the algorithm alone. Just there's no one way to just find the one that suits you. And don't forget, always in your password. Always in your password.
I think addition also refers the area of passwords. Yeah, now you passwords. Oh my God, that good sentence and going to the house in the morning. So, like, all those in those areas, that's how you use the phrase, use the sentence, as long as you can mix it up, but make it as difficult as possible. Another question that I want to mention is avoid using dictionary or any dictionary English dictionary. I like to advise you to use the local language, but
Okay, let's look at that.
so no,
We have
mix it up.
local dictionary now.
Yes,
Like the local
exactly.
dictionary, we have
But
the.
when you
So you
mix
can
it up, it makes it more difficult like this. So the aim is not to be, there's nothing 100% safe. It's for you to make it as difficult as possible. So that's and I don't know, use some funny local food, mix up. So any more questions? Okay, I have any more questions.
I'm sorry, I missed session. So, how can I say it? Because I know
Anyone the technology behind deepfakes is something called image processing.
Mm.
So they will elaborate on it.
What it makes is practical. I think sometime in September, a video went viral of a supposed online scammer that was captured by CNN online to CNN Live, right? I mean, of us heard that, but that was actually fake news. It was fake. Now, when you talk of deep fake, it's practical today. There are applications that they will show you a video of you saying or admitting to a crime you know nothing about. So there are also technologies to evade deep fakes. But again, you need to do a proper research. You need to put a lot of things into consideration. You don't just watch the video as of today and say, yes, this video is legit. You have to ensure that one, the video is not just true. What are things to look out for, like bit frames, how many bit frames per second, and all of that. So practical wise, it is currently practical, not just your levels.
Anyone? Oh, so you ask first before you follow up. Deepfakes.
so, as I said, it's practical. It's practical, but I know there are cases in court where the evidence actually it's actually practical. And how to say the court or the leaders of the family understand the can't submit the video as evidence for a crime anymore. I get wish to protect because what you said concerning you watch a video and you have to don't trust me. I don't think that's quite feasible to do involved. And I say video on or anyway, I don't have time to start looking to see if you or not. It's so for now, I'm not sure it's quite practical. But again, the aspect of evidence involved out of the house now.
Okay. Anyone? Okay. Just to start asking, are you aware of the Nigerian Evidence Act? We have an evidence act that normally certified forensic investigation, administer and administer. So you can't just come and take a video with one or something. You have to go through the process by the law, and the proposal has to be certified by an expert, certified forensic investigation.
Okay, so just to add to what Dr. has said, now everything you're providing or submitting in the court of law, you must ensure it is admissible. The exact clause is what you're submitting admissible in the court of law. If yes, who authenticated it? That is where the act comes in. Are you an expert? Are you qualified? Are you certified to present a document to the court of law? So it's not just you're going to the court to present a document of your choice. They must also verify that okay, this document, one, is admissible in the court of law. Two, there's also going to be a verification process. So if you are an expert, you're bringing in a document on the fact that you're an expert, you don't give us that full authorization to agree and just accept it. No, you also have to verify from our own point. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Good night. For evidence to be admissible in court, one, you need to prove beyond reasonable doubt. The judge is not an expert. Judge, I don't know him in law. We now have cyber law. Okay. Again, before now that you treat, you don't about all these cases, and you don't give a single man judge the case. So it has to be admissible. When you acquire the evidence, and even if it is legal, acquiring the evidence needs to be, yes, it has to be according to the act like you mentioned.
Question, please. My question is in terms of forensics, whereby we are passwords and then the cyber criminals, the people that really has maybe selling drugs, human trafficking, or start using these drug features. How do we see when it comes to forensic investigation? Without license and maybe the process more part-time to crack and to solve the cases. What do you advise in those cases?
Thank you. Quite a complex one. Anyone? Okay. Just a preamble to answer the question. I think no matter what we propose, with good intentions, some elements will still take a need to bad intentions. That is one. So for those that are using these tools, with bad things, during investigation, you are currently investigating yourself. You know the hurdles that we have to abide by not only the laws of the land, but also by appropriate rules, professionalism first. That is one. But that is not the so if they actually do this thing, I think not in Nigeria, there are certain laws that have to be specialized laws that have to be passed for those areas. For example, if in Nigeria we have to make, especially in the cloud, we have legislative issues with the location of the server and the rest of the prosecute the person in the state because we don't have jurisdiction there. So what you have to do is either pass special laws just for specific most things to tell you these things have been made available during specialized cases. So this is my clear answer to answer your question.
So, interesting question. I want you to know that there's something actually cost a huge factors involved when other activists say, well, I think we need security that could make it trackable and all the data will properly be from the government. But we never know that the government and access to all of the devices. When I can actually security, the king and attack and again, take that thing off. We want to have access to it. And that will, because of that
action, it's became use in general. And we want to do this is if you don't take the necessary steps to protect yourself, somebody else will actually speak with you. And probably which you prefer to have all your data being protected, or have it not protected because say that one day when you have access to it or maybe somebody else has access to it, you have easy access to it. Because if you don't use a secure device, somebody will help you to use it or will help you to use it. To me, I always say security should be what you use as a high priority.
Prevention is better than
Yes, I'm actually saying prevention for general, but still, best always have a device secure. Password, everything is secure. But I have to see the investigation of it's none of the business.
All right, just a top up to that, right? Now, there's no system that's 100% secure. Your goal as security professional is to ensure that you give the attacker longer time to break through. Not to be expert, a longer time to get in. However, it is in the course of law, it means your team readjourning the case of the get something like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's it. That's the end of this event. Even though we have more people online than physical. Which phrases? Because somebody is asking for phrases. It has been distributed in your absence. So thank you very much. I hope this has been actually an eye-opener, and for those that are actually concerned with most of these things, this also has tended to bring you a different perspective on certain topics and how to actually tackle some of the issues in real life also. So thank you once again for trying to making it there today. And an announcement for all university. I think we'll be having our own day at the end of October. So we'll try and also be part of either the organizing committee or the session. We'll have a one-day event internally. We're going to be organizing. So thank you very much.
Alright, so we also want to thank the management and staff of Baze University. Special thanks to Dr. for the collaboration and support and for giving us the opportunity to begin with you guys. It's a good privilege for us, and definitely with the collaboration that is ongoing, I'm very sure there's a lot of content that will be bringing and also to the best environment for everyone. Thank you very much.
So please join everyone. Oh, yeah, kind of taking this. In your team. Yes, join them.